Hello everybody, it's that time again, that bearded gamer. So, excuse me, sorry. We have gone through the next part of the season. As you can see, we didn't get a good budget. The wages went up to 4.3k a week and the transfer budget was 19.29k. I transferred that transfer budget straight into the wage budget straight away. Now, we are overspending on the wages. What I didn't realise is all the youth players that went into the youth team, as I'll show you now. Bear with me a second. Their contracts, they're all on £55 a week. So I have tried to get rid of the not great potential ones, but nobody wants to buy them, unfortunately, and it is March because the season starts later in the Latvian league. And I have tried to keep some of the other players, some of the older players who are 17 or older, I have put onto the development list from there to try and loan them out to try and get the wages off the wage bill. From there, like Ralph Lorenz, and there's a few others in the second team, but most of them are on like £55 a week, as you can see there. But I have tried to loan some. These are all amateur contracts that my head of youth development or director of football has been signing into the youth team, so that's fine. I don't mind them being there because I won't be paying their wages. To suit a few amateur contracts in the first team as well, but I'll go into signings afterwards, and then I've tried to get rid of some of these players here who are 17, 18, put some for loan who have got better potential, some on the unwanted list, but no one wants to come in for them as of yet. So we're still sticking with the same formation. We will first go into the staff. So I did ask for more staff, so we've got given a couple more coaches, another scout, I think it was, and another physio. I have asked for my coaching badge multiple times, but they won't run it through for me because, as you can see, the team is massively in debt. 45 grand. I am over on the wage budget. I did do the whole glitch where you can change the bonuses out to your squad to low, but that only give me like an extra £100 a week onto the wages from there. So I'm trying to get the wages down to the best of my ability. Now, I did sign this player, and then realised he wasn't great. This was the one that I showed you last time, Tony de CB, and he came to me that he was getting homesick and then he wanted to go back to his country of origin, so he's on the way out. Now, we're going to transfer history. We did sell a few players. Now, Thomas Gooch was one of our best players, but unfortunately he didn't want to sign a new contract. And then from there, he wanted to leave at the end of his contract, so I just decided to sell him, and he's gone to Supernova in our league now. This Daniels Grudes went on a free from there. I'll show you the signings that we have signed in a moment. Daniel Grudes went on a free. Now, this will go over to back end of last season. We released a few players on a free there. They may have been last time. This guy left on a free, but he wasn't too great. Oh no, that was a defensive midfielder who was already going out. And then this guy left on a free. He was a good youngster, but it's alright. And when we sold the goalkeeper last season, it was shocking because we have replaced him in Ivans Boutiranis. As you can see, he only got a 6.44 rating and conceded 51 goals, so I definitely needed a new goalkeeper. We did release a load of players, as you can see here, who just weren't good enough effectively, because the end of season is December time in Latvia. November, December time when contracts are up. This is when I started getting rid of players. So we got rid of Marcis Vandenikis. He's had okay potential, but not great. Polyaviokis, he had good potential, but wasn't great from there. Martin Stolz wasn't great, as you can see. Janis Jakobsen who was a mainstay player. I just feel like we could have got better than him. Michael Yambe, he didn't play great when he played last season, but he's off the bench. But maybe I should have... Oh no, he's gone straight to Ivory Coast. And he's doing amazing. Go on, Yambe, lad. And then Edward Spitkins, because we played him like 3 times the whole season. He did okay when he was here, but he's left now. Transfers in. We will go from... I think it's from here, maybe. So we've got Klaas Luver, who is a second goalkeeper. We have signed a better goalkeeper and a good, better backup goalkeeper. He is 19 years old, got 5-star potential. He was from Valmeria. And then after him, we have signed Artem Malash. He's our first team goalkeeper, Ukrainian. And he is from Grobinas, from the Latvian league. He didn't do great last season, but we'll see how he does. He's 23 years old, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. And then we've got in Artus Ostapienko, who's a 2.5-star current ability player, 4.5-star potential player, Latvian, 20-year-old. He came from Supernova, so he's a good backup striker to... What's our current striker? Galas, that's right. He's a good backup striker to himself. But we did manage to sneak through some players because we were amateur contracts, so we managed to get them on £5 a week, so he's getting paid £5 a week till 2026. So if it doesn't work out, he's not costing us too much money. And then we bought in, after that, Davis Sirkus, who can play right back and left back. Latvian, 23 years old, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. And he came in from RFS, who were top of the league, but he was playing regular football for the second team last season. And then after that, we brought in Abayomi Wilson, 28-year-old defensive midfielder and centre midfielder, 2.5-star current ability, 2.5-star potential. Now he's more for experience and just a backup player more than anything else, because we were running low on backup players last season. He played for Specs in Latvia, and then he's been at Pakistan Premier League as well. And next player through the door was... Nope, we've already clicked on him. I do apologise. Christos Volkovs, who looks like the best player that we have, Sam, so far. Centre midfielder, can play attacking midfield as well. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential, Latvian, 19-year-old. And he came in from Valmeria, where he was playing regularly last season, so I don't understand why they got rid of him on a free. And then we signed Nix Schliade, so he's on a £5 a week contract from there, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, 20 years old, Latvian. He's from Valmeria, and he was playing regularly for their second team last season. And then we signed Olabanjo Agujuni. He's on £5 a week, good backup and rotation player for the wings. He can play both wings and striker, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, 23 years old. And he was from Riga. He was playing regularly for their second team last season. And then the legend and another Englishman who I brought along with me for the journey, Nathan Delafonso. He's probably one of our highest paid players, but he's an absolute ledge. Just 3.5-star current, 3.5-star potential, 33 years old, journeyman, legend, played obviously Premier League, Championship, and then the last team he was at was Filed, but he'd probably be rotation or first team player for us on a regular basis. Can play striker and right wing, so that's just more depth. That was my plan this season. And then the last but not least, Janis Krutmanis, who's a 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential, central defender, 26 years old, because my defence was shocking last season, and he's just shored that up, and he's come from Grabinias from the Futuria League, so I'm guessing that's the league below us from there. And then we did sign some more players. Janis Villaniantis, he's the centre midfielder that I signed last season. He's been up port for loan, but he probably will play. He's only on £5 a week, 2-star current ability, 4-star potential. He got signed from Legia Pella Lepage. And then we did sign Tony Tsebi, but he's going, as I've already stated. And then we signed Madis Mikkelsen. That was my director of football. He's a backup left back. He's on an amateur contract. He came from Meta. That's where he was last season. I signed Vladislavs Zahis, good backup player, left winger, can play striker, 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. He's on an amateur contract as well. And then I signed Nikita Paznevs, so he can play left and right wing. He's 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, 19 years old, Latvian. He's came from Skiantes, and he did play for Meta previously, and he looks like he did have a good season last season. Then we've signed Marcus Carissis. He's in the reserve second team. He isn't great. That was one that my director of football signed for our second team. And then Galebs Patakia. He looks like he's got good potential, 1.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. He's in the second team, but he's only on an amateur contract, so he can stay here for now. And last but not least, Kristaps Kanks. He's in the second team, 1.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. He has got good finishing at 14. Got good stats. He was from JFK Ventspils, and Patika is from Riga. So that's all the players that I brought in and out. There is an ongoing for Tony Tsebi to go out. That will give me 150 quid back into the wage budget. Now, as you can see, we are £497 over the wage budget, but that's mainly probably due to me overspending and the youth contracts, which I'm trying to get rid of some of those players constantly, or send some of them out on loan if I can, to decrease the wage bill. Dynamics are shocking at the minute. They're poor. He's asking to leave, which he's already gone. Club atmosphere is poor, so we'll see how we go in the first game. That's just a brief overview of the transfers. That's what we're doing now. So the first game of the season would be against Meta, which that's a great start to the season, against our first rivals. The club vision for this season is to finish mid-table and reach the latter stages of the cup. That's the current season. So we'll see how we do from there. What we will do is where is staff? I'll have a cheeky look in the job centre. So there is, I've put my teams up there, yeah. So there is Utrecht in the Eredivisie, Aberdeen in the Premiership, and Vikingur in the Icelandic Premier Division. So if a job does come along and it is better than the one that I already have with a better team, then I will go to the interview and I'll come back on that factor. But if not, I'm going to stay with the team that I currently am at in Latvia in FK Tukums 2000/Telms. Just because we did do the first season, we did okay. I feel like we have built a better squad and a more in-depth squad. But as you can see from here, it's mainly just 2s and 2.5s. Now, we do have 2 good goalkeepers now. We have a couple of decent left-backs and okay left-backs with a youngster there in Raymond Jansen. He can play anywhere across the back line. Same here. I have been trying to get rid of Vadimis Zuluzievs because he has decreased massively from when I signed him. And we have got that Korkarus and Jansen who can play there. Now, centre-backs, I feel like I've shored up, so I've got 4 decent centre-backs and a good youngster and a youngster there. Defensive midfield, I feel like I've shored up as well. We're bringing in Wilson, and De Gerent is on an amateur contract, so he can play there if he needs to be. I have been trying to get rid of this Karamankis because he has got good potential, but he's not great, but he might go at the end of the season on a free. And then I've shored up the midfield there with youngsters and younger players this season. And then left wing seems like younger players as well. We have got Levi still there. Tsebi's going. Ziz can play on that wing. Gunji, Paznevs. And then the same on this side. Delfonso can play out there. Samalovs can play out there. And then striker-wise, we have got Galaz, who was really good for us last season. Delfonso, who can play a backup there. We've got Ostapienko, who can play there. And then Ziz and Gunji can go into that there. But we've got 3 decent strikers there. His best position is pressing forward, so I am tempted to possibly change that advance forward to a pressing forward just at the start of this season. Now, I will pick the best squad, pick without restriction, pick best 11. So that's the best squad to possibly play for the time being. So I'll probably go with that in the first game because that does look like a decent squad. And then we have got an injury to one of our under 18-year-olds. And then there is somebody unavailable. I'll usually tick unavailable on that to keep anybody out, anybody injured, and whatever else. So that'll be the first team. Now, we only played one pre-season game for some reason, which we lost against Joe Galva, which isn't great because they got relegated. So that's not a great start to the season. But I'm going to stick with this tactic because it did do us well last season. I will briefly look into the season preview, see where they expect us to finish. Oh, 6th, that's not too bad. Where is our best player? Keep going, Gallas. So Gallas is our best player. He's about halfway down from there. But yeah, it's supposed to be 6th, so that's not too bad. Them are the two teams that have come up. Supernova and Meta are below us. So we'll come back for the first game of the season against Meta. And then what we'll probably do after that, come back for first game season against Meta, and then we may go through quite a few games, and then come back for Order, because they beat us twice last season and battered us in one of the games, and Supernova. Might come back for them 2 games. So we'll come back for the first game of the season, we'll come back for Order and Supernova, and then after that we'll figure out where to go. We may come back for the 4th round of the Cup again, or if we progress in the Cup, just because I want to try and fly through the seasons, just because I feel like it could get a bit monotonous, just because it might just be us battling to get up the league. So I want to come back 2 or 3 times in the season, maybe around about July time as well, because we could possibly do some more transfers. Some players will be getting released from the bigger leagues in Europe and England, and Scotland as well, because the release date, I think, is the 1st of July for majority of teams within the English league. That's how I nearly got Telefonso originally, but he wanted way too much money. But it might be a factor of sticking with the team that we've got, sorting out the wage budget, trying to get rid of some of those youth players, or when they do turn 17, trying to get them on loan, maybe loan out a few of the first team players possibly as well, just to try and level that situation out. But I will see you in the next one, guys, for the first game of the season. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.